Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another fun day in the markets. Nice to have you here. We're sitting here on Thursday, November the 3rd, 2022. We are sitting here the day after the US Fed funds rate was raised 3/4 of a point as expected. We are mere minutes after having heard from the Bank of England. They've raised their rates by 0.75%. Over in the UK, they call this the largest interest rate increase in 30 years for the Bank of England. 30 years. They've never had it this high from 1992 to now. Is that 30 years ago? 1992? What were you doing in 1992? Oh my God, 1992. Oh, that's when Sleepless in Seattle came out. If you ever watch that movie, they were still using telephones at home with long cords where you held the box, and then you had your twisty phone thing here on this hand. You had it here, and you had your other hand holding your coffee, and you walked around your house talking to people. Those are modern times. Things have changed. Televisions were tubes. Tube TVs were still the norm in 1992. Is there a tube TV in your house anymore? I bet you guys have tube TVs in your house that you have other stuff sitting on now. You're using your old tube television as a stand for something else. That's what you guys are doing with your old tube television, because you're too lazy to get off your fat butts and take the damn thing to the landfill, because nobody wants your television from 1985, 1990, and everything else. Oh my gosh. Okay. We had interest rates go up. All right. That's correct, Bruce. We've had other developments take place and are taking place going on here. We got a lot of stuff happening. Noticed an article about Apple, and this is something you guys kind of want to keep an eye on. You may have noticed in the pre-market that Apple shares are off 250 right now to 142.48. I just kind of want to let you in on something. This might be the beginning of a bit of a slide here into the 120s. Why am I saying this? Why would I say Apple could go into the 120s? The reason is that we heard some very interesting news that came out here that's being reported by a lot of independent sources. And as much as China tries to put the lid on, real actual life events happening in China, this is leaking out. First of all, I want to mention that back in August, Apple was 174.55. Okay, that's where the stock was, 174.55. That was like August the 20th or something like that. In June, the shares were 130. So they went from 130 on June 16th to 174.55. And right now we're 142.50. So for the shares to go back to 130 would be a no-brainer. That would be a nothing burger move for Apple shares. But to perhaps go lower than 130 might be a cause of concern. 130.06, so $130 a share is a magic number to watch. If we break under that, we're going lower. And why do you have to care? The reason you have to care is because Apple is worth more than the top 4 other companies combined out there. They are now the single biggest dog all by themselves. Google got crushed. Amazon got crushed. Microsoft got crushed. Facebook got crushed. And Apple is still sitting up here with a market cap of $2.4 trillion. Okay, they're all by themselves in value. Now, what's the story I'm talking about with Apple? In China, the main factory where they're producing all those iPhones and other products, a mass walkout has taken place amongst workers. For the last several weeks, there have been rumors swirling about inside that plant. And you have to understand that the majority of the workers that make your iPhone and your iPad, any product by Foxconn in China that's made, are produced by young 20 somethings, late teen, 20 and 30 somethings. These are the folks that in North America, um, I would say in North America back in the 50s and 60s, there were millions of Americans and Canadians who went to school, graduated high school, and didn't go any further in their education because they had choices they could make. There were three choices you could make when you were a high schooler. Choice number one, go from high school to a college or university. Number two, go from high school to a trade school college. Go for a trade, like becoming a master plumber, an electrician, a refrigeration person, air conditioning, furnace person, boiler maker, really good money trades, okay? Mechanic, and on and on. And the third choice was to not go any further after high school and join your dad and your granddad at the General Motors plant or the Ford plant or a car manufacturer or a parts maker for the automotive business, or one of the millions of other jobs you could have gone after to make washers, dryers, television sets, radios, household furniture, join a construction company to be on the construction site. Many laborer type jobs available at good pay. Those are the choices. In China right now, this is exactly the same thing that's happening. In China, you have this three places you can go, and the government decides your path for you with your family. That kind of says, oh yeah, okay, we'll do that. The government decides based on your scholastic aptitude and temperament and loyalty to the Communist Party, whether you go to college or university for a degree or diplomatic service, whether you go to the military, what have you, or whether you go to college for or technical school for trades, or whether you go right out of school into military, or you go right out of school into a place like a Foxconn, where you're going to be a laborer and get paid by the hour or by the month or by the piecemeal. By how many phones can you assemble in an hour? That's how much money you make. And at Foxconn, just as an example, and I'll mention Tesla as well. Their Shanghai factory employs gazillions of people. These folks, some of which are college master degrees, and they are technical tradespeople, but then there are the masses, the hundreds of thousands of laborers. Many are women who want to work for 5 or 10 years and then start having children, and many are men who have no future other than being a grunt for the rest of their lives. These folks have been talking amongst themselves in the Foxconn plant now for weeks. And the rumors have been swirling about that the entire city is going to go into lockdown, or the factory is going to go into lockdown and we won't be able to get out. This COVID thing is so restrictive in China that more and more Chinese now fear COVID lockdown, just like being told you're in a concentration camp or a re-education center and can't go home. There are more and more workers in China that believe the COVID policy is like being under arrest, but not at home, at work. And the folks in the plant were surmising that the military is going to come in and help fill roles of openings, and that the plant was going to be used as an experimentation center. They're going to allow COVID to just run rampant in the plant, and they were going to see how many people actually got ill and how many actually died. And based on those numbers, whether it would be tolerable for the country to open up wide open and just say, we're going to do exactly what the United States is doing. You can come and go all you want. You don't have to have any testing anymore. You don't have to wear masks. You don't have to have the vaccine. It's the Wild West. We're going to join America and that open this country back up again. But we got to find out just how bad it would be first if we were to do this, because in China we have been locking down entire cities, entire provinces, and putting 100 million people on full lockdown without any exceptions. How are we going to go here? The youth in China, the youngsters, the ones under 30, under 35, they've got their own iPhones, they've got their own social media networks, they have their own texting, and the rumors were swirling about that they felt they were about to be locked in and made guinea pigs for the government of China. And the Chinese government had not said a word about anything to anybody. They were completely silent. They had made no comment about it because they didn't want to comment about any rumors out there, because that means the people are controlling the government rather than the government controlling the people. And so the workers of the plant started walking out. And this is what's been happening in the last several days. Hundreds or tens of thousands of workers. There are hundreds of thousands at this complex, this massive, unimaginable size complex. Tens of thousands are walking out, and they've packed their bags. They're not leaving to go home in town 3 blocks away where they're staying, because they're staying. A lot of these folks are staying in dormitory type accommodations, either on site at the factory or just outside the factory walls. A lot of these workers are transients. They work there for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 11 months, and then they go home for a month, and then they come back. So a lot of these folks are walking out of the plant with their suitcases on wheels, packed up with everything they've got, and they're walking out. Now, we're talking about workers who've been there for 2 years, 5 years, 8 years, not talking about just the day workers that work in, live in town and will always live in town and just work here. No, there are a lot of Chinese folks who are walking out, and the story goes that a number of them are wanting to go home, which is hundreds of miles away from this place. And some of them are walking, hitchhiking in any way they can get out of that region. Even though there are travel restrictions in place because of the COVID protocols, they are literally walking along roadways, dragging their suitcases to get the hell out. They are not interested in staying back because they fear that they're guinea pigs in a science experiment. And there are a number of them hitchhiking and getting rides from sympathetic Chinese people helping them out. They'll go as far as 100 miles to now get to a zone where they can travel freely, get on a train, and head home. They are not interested in returning to work right now because the rumors cannot be quelled. This is the Apple facility. Apple has said nothing. Your folks in Cupertino are giving you the cricket treatment. The stock is 142.06 this morning, down 298 in the pre-market, with only 741,000 traded. Wall Street is oblivious to what I'm telling you. The reports are out. No one is talking about it. And the seriousness of it is not being relayed to investors out there. And why should you care if you don't own this stuff? The reason you should care is because if Apple is affected, this means dozens of others are going to be affected by it as well across all of China. This is going to spread like wildfire. This Xi Jinping, show we saw last week, where he's become the dictator of China, has built up an amount of resentment against this guy by the 20-somethings. The 20-somethings are PO'd at this guy because he's 69, 70 years old, and he won't freaking leave. And his underlings are all in their 60s and 70s as well. They won't go away. They fear a military martial law takeover of the country. These workers are going, I'm not interested in being a guinea pig for you. Not interested. I've seen people the last 15 years become rich off of my labor, off of my friends' labor, my brothers and my sisters who are older than I am. I've watched throughout my family's, around here for generations, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. We worked our butts off since the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and the 2000s to build this country up and bring in massive skyscrapers everywhere, massive condos everywhere, #1 rail system in the world. And for what? so that an old fart like this guy won't leave and he wants to talk war with Taiwan? That's not what we signed up for. That's not what we're here for. We've been preached for 20 years the economic miracle of China. We want to keep that going. We don't want to end this economic miracle. We want to work this forward. And people are walking with their feet. And this is the demise of the Communist Party in a way. Because when the slaves don't want to be slaves anymore and just walk away, you have nothing working for you. You can't just get another 200,000 people off the street and throw them into this factory and build iPhones. That doesn't work that way. These folks have skills. These folks have tolerances. These folks have excellent eyesight, high hand-eye coordination. They can do one of 20 different jobs in that factory. And if that factory is going down by 20% efficiency, 30% efficiency, it starts to lose money. It doesn't make money, and it doesn't deliver iPhones on time in the right numbers. And I'm only using the word iPhone because it's convenient. There are a ton of products made in this factory that have an Apple logo on it and everything else on it, and it runs the gamut. And this is a major, major problem. The military and the secret police can whip people into shape if they want, if they've got them. If you keep them in the factory and don't let them out, you make them work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. You can keep them there. But if they're walking out en masse and it's like ants that are going in every direction, how the hell are you going to bring it all back? And the morale of the workforce in the toilet. It is a nightmare. Tesla is in the same boat. They don't want to talk to you about this. They're not going to admit it because Tesla and Apple, I can tell you why they're not telling you. It's not like Apple doesn't want you to know or Tesla doesn't want you to know. It's not like they're trying to keep it a secret so you don't find out. No, they don't want to piss off the people they're bribing in China to keep doing what they're doing. This is why they're not saying anything. Tim Cook is not going to come out and say, we're having trouble in China because the Chinese people are walking out of the factory en masse because they're pissed off at Xi Jinping. He's not going to say anything like that. None of his underlings are going to say anything like that because they're going to then get kicked out of China. You don't slap the face of the guy you bribe. You keep bribing these guys to allow you to keep doing what you're doing. And you keep a straight face and you deliver value to the American people and high quality products to the world at large, and everybody is happy. But that's not the case. And you're going to have to find out about it through these balding these balding YouTubers who are babysitting friends' houses who are homeless, that can't lose their house because the bank has changed the policy on this guy. I can't lose a house. I'm not afraid of my banker because I don't have any banker that I owe money to. I'm not afraid of an overlord because I don't work for Chase Manhattan. I don't work for Bank of America. I don't work for anybody. I'm my own independent guy. So I can talk about it. But good luck you finding 50 other sources of what I'm telling you right now easily. Although I will admit, this story I'm giving you is in the Wall Street Journal. That's a pretty reasonable sized publication. But you're not going to hear it from the companies themselves. They don't want to upset their masters in China. The last thing Apple needs to do is get Foxconn in trouble. So Apple will shut the hell up and say, it's a Foxconn issue. It's not our issue. Foxconn has to look after their own situation. And in the meantime, as you know, and I've talked to you about this, Apple is quietly and very quickly setting up factories with Foxconn in India. They're setting up factories in India because they want to get at least 25% of all iPhones and Apple products out of China made elsewhere. So that brings China's gross number down dramatically. And that allows Apple to diversify where its products are made. What you're noticing, however, is surprise, surprise, there is no new factory being built in Austin, Texas by Apple. There is no new factory being built in Las Vegas. There's no factory being built anywhere in California by Apple. There is nothing anywhere in the United States of America being built by Apple that the President of the United States can go to and cut a ribbon with Tim Cook and brag, about the fact that we're creating $50,000, $200,000 a year jobs here. Nothing like that is being done. This is a $2.4 trillion market cap corporation that makes gobs of money. Every pension fund in America of any size owns shares in Apple. Every ETF worth its salt owns Apple stock. Every index fund that's out there owns Apple stock. It's the big dog. Everybody owns it. And Americans own most of the $2 trillion market cap value of this company and its bonds, which are in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Bonds that were issued to buy back stock and keep the game going. And you do not see this company at all opening up $1 billion factories in South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisiana, Virginia. You see nothing, not in New York, not in Pennsylvania, nowhere. You got crickets for job creation in North America to get out of the dependence of the country of China. You are not seeing it. What two countries are supporting Russia right now in the war in Ukraine? China and India. Where is Apple pushing production from? China and India. If that isn't anti-American, I don't know what is. This is a Cupertino, California-based company created with Steve Jobs and Wozniak, two American boys that came up with the computer, home-based computer, and the company is completely different today than it ever was envisioned in 1980, 84, of course. But going forward, these guys are reaping in trillions of dollars over the decades off the backs of the American consumer. And I don't see the payoff for Americans. I just don't. And now we hear through the grapevine, that hundreds of thousands of workers are walking off the job at the Apple plant in China because of harsh conditions, and they're fearing for their lives because they are worried about being lab rats for the government of China with respect to the COVID breakout and whether we can live with it. That's what's going on. And the stock now is down 323 to 141.80. Apple stock in the next week could be 125 a share. Could be, or worse, because this fallout is going to be ugly. This is a PR disaster for Apple. And it's a bad news story for anyone else doing business in China. This is what we're talking about. And how you've noticed 6 months ago when the war broke out in the Ukraine, what was the first thing you found out about? What did you hear about? What were we inundated with from the news? We heard that company 1, 2, 3, 4, we're leaving Russia. We're leaving Russia. We're leaving Russia. McDonald's shut down. Starbucks shut down. Norwegian companies walked out. German companies walked out. France, Italy, the UK, the world walked away from the Russian economy and the Russians. How many did the same thing with China when China would not condemn Russia? There used to be a time where America would say, either out loud or quietly, you're either with us or you're against us. You're either with the Ruskies or you're with us. Make up your mind so we can figure out who our friends are. The Chinese instantaneously had a meeting with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. They got together and shook hands on camera. They are united all the way, and there's no stopping it. And India has said, well, we're not sure about this thing. We want to think about it. Bottom line is India is buying Russian oil on the black market at 30 to 40% off the world price. No one's denying it, and it's provable many times over. And India is, in effect, becoming anti-American. They call it, we're becoming independent. We're becoming our own people. But yeah, you're picking the sides of the Iranians and the Chinese with the Russians, and you're anti-USA, you're anti-Western world, you're anti-Canada, you're anti-Europe. And I'm asking myself, why are we doing business with these guys? Why do we keep doing business? Do we need them that badly? Do we need their rupees that much? I think they need our crap more than we need their crap. But there's no price to be paid by anybody to oppose the American position. And so the war rages on. The North Koreans now apparently are supplying all kinds of bullets and shells and armaments, and anything the Russians want, the North Koreans have it, because the North Koreans are happy to take rubles in payment because their currency is garbage. You might as well take the next closest thing than just yours. It's an upgrade for North Korea. China is more than happy to deal with Russia. They might not be sending Russia weapons, but they're certainly buying from Russia anything Russia wants to sell them. All the wheat you want to sell us, all the natural gas you want to sell us, all the oil you can pump down here to China, we'll take it all off you guys. No problem at all. We take rubles, you take won, we're fine. North Korea is in on it. They want in on it. Iran is in on the game with their drones, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drones. I still am amazed that the drone factory in Iran hasn't been bombed yet by some James Bond type character from a certain country that might be famous for this kind of stuff. But hey, what can I say? The Saudis are worried about Iran, and yet the Saudis are not friends of America right now. Shocking. They're right next door to Iran, just across the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians are showing the Saudis how effective these piece of garbage drones are that can go 210 miles an hour. That's all. They only go 210 miles an hour, but they can fly for 1,500 miles one way on a suicide mission. They can be guided by a satellite right to a target. The Saudis are going, oops, we hadn't thought of that. Yeah, and you can launch these drones from dozens of sites, not from one place. You can launch them from mobile launch sites that you can drive to with a truck. Unbelievable terror weapon. And 1,500 miles from Iran, that's right to the Mediterranean. That is right up there to Jordan, to Syria, to Israel, to Egypt, to Tunisia, to Turkey, into Russian territory, Pakistan, no problem. India, no trouble whatsoever. You draw a 1,500-mile radius from the borders of Iran, out, and you have got a huge area of territory that these pieces of garbage drones that are suicide drones can go to. And yet the Saudis don't want to work with the Americans. Really, you're with us or against us? Maybe you're against us. And North America keeps helping these guys help them sell their oil. The Strait of Hormuz is patrolled by the United States of America, the Brits, to make sure that tankers can come and go and do free trade. Yeah. Do the Saudis pay for a security fee for their oil not to be bombed out of the sky by some drone somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean? Yeah. No, they can sell it whatever they want. And what are they doing with their pals? They're hiring lobbyists to go on national U.S. television and British television and all over Europe and all over the internet to convince us, at least they're trying to, that oil is going to $130 a barrel because it's going to be a cold winter this year. That's what they're trying to do. And they announced a production cutback of 2 million barrels a day. Our friends, yeah, right. I'm an old man. I love to rant, and I call it as I see it. And I don't see good stuff happening out there. Peloton announced this morning that they're missing their targets for Christmas already. They're not getting the orders they thought they were going to get for the Christmas season. Peloton stock is down 90% and dropping again. Not good news. Bank of England raised interest rates by 0.75 of a percentage point this morning. They are predicting, the Bank of England. Now, just think about this. If Chairman Powell yesterday at the press conference said these words, this is what the Bank of England said this morning: we predict the recession in the United Kingdom is going to last 2 years. Can you imagine if Chairman Powell said that yesterday? We've just raised interest rates 0.75 of a percent to fight inflation, and we expect a recession to last in the United States for the next 2 years. What do you think the stock market would be doing right now in the United States if Powell said that yesterday? Just with what Powell said yesterday, The markets had been up 350 points higher after the three-quarter point announcement was made. Then it went down 500 points last night to lose 850 points. And now we're down 200 in the pre-market. So we're off 1,000 points since Powell started talking yesterday. And he didn't say there's going to be a 2-year recession in the United States. He didn't say that. But the Bank of England this morning is saying that. They have got an inflation problem like you cannot imagine. It's double the US. You think your inflation rate is 7-8%? They've got 15-16% inflation in their sights coming at them. They know it's a tsunami. The wave is coming. They see it. It's right there. Can't stop it because it's all around the island. It is coming in on them, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They're just trying to hope to mitigate it. An absolute disaster happening in the UK live as we speak. 3 prime ministers in 3 months and turmoil everywhere. 2-year recession is expected, and I think it's going to be worse as far as how bad it is and longer. And the recovery is going to be one ugly, ugly mess, unfortunately. We're talking 2025, 2026 for the UK to maybe come out of it. This means the United States and Canada are not going to have an interest rate run up to 4%. And then in 3 months from now, inflation will come back down, and then we'll bring our interest rates back down. Forget that fantasy. You guys are in dreamland if you think that's going to happen. We're going to go up to 5-6% on the Fed funds rate in Canada and in the United States. We're going to see prime interest rates. Those of you who get the best bank loan from your local banks, you're going to get quoted between 7 and 9% for your prime rate. And then those of you seeking a mortgage, you're going to be quoted quite routinely 9.5 to 12% for a mortgage. This is the new normal for the next 5 years. This is not a 5-month, everything is going to be fine over with, and all will be well. This is going to go right through the next presidential election, and it's going to go through the midterms after that. And whoever's in whatever political position they're in, if they want to talk to you about how you should live your life and what God you should believe in and what medical practice is real and what isn't, you want to elect those guys, knock yourself out. But if you want your economic problems solved or at least dealt with in a proper way, you might want to elect people who know what the hell they're doing, that have economic degrees, science degrees, experience in running governments, but hey, it's up to you. You want to elect wackos, you're going to get wacko politicians and wacko politics. Congratulations. If it's more entertaining for the world at large to watch television with goofball politicians as your stars, then enjoy your new television programs, because that's what you're going to get. Because we had it for 4 years already, and now we're getting ready for another goofball show. Can't wait for Americans to find out on Wednesday morning next week that Jim Jordan, the guy that doesn't wear a suit jacket, you know that moron, the guy with the shirt and the tie, he's going to be the head of the Judiciary Committee of the Congress next January. He's going to be the guy with the gavel in the Judiciary Committee because he's the senior member. And he's going to run that show. And what a show we're going to have. Oh, my gosh. 2 years under the Democratic president, and then who knows who's next, with Jim Jordan as the star of your show. You can imagine how many times he's going to hit that gavel and tell people to shut up and listen to what he has to say. This is just around the corner. America is about to get it, and oh, are you guys going to get it? It's going to be fun. And I'm thankful I'm not an American in this case, because he ain't my representative. I'm not taking responsibility for this guy. We had Ted Cruz. He's a Canadian. Ted Cruz is born in Calgary, right here. I admit that, but we got rid of him. He renounced his Canadian citizenship. We got rid of that guy. He's all yours. Enjoy that boy, that old Texas guy with his sweatpants coming home from Cancun while Texans are freezing because of the lack of electricity. Oh, yeah, baby. I will say, though, we've got a wacko here. We have a wacko premier in Edmonton. Ooh, it's gone goofy. We got ourselves a goofball as a premier. until we get an election called here, and that should be in the next year and a half. But we got a ways to go before we get there. Oh gosh, it's going to be crazy times. Well, what can I say? Welcome one and all to the fun times of the 2020s, 2022 life. It's wild and wacky. I have a skill testing question for you guys. Here's a trivia question. What year was it that it was officially allowed by the federal government of the United States that entrepreneurs, that business people could legally broadcast television signals across the airwaves and be allowed to sell advertising time to advertisers? What year was that allowed in the United States? Do you know? I found this out yesterday and I find it fascinating. What year was it that Americans were allowed to be subjected to paid advertising by advertisers through the medium of television? What year was it? I'd love to know if you guys have a clue. Don't be Googling this. Don't cheat. Just off the top of your head, what do you think it was? What year? And what year was color television available in America? What year was color television available for the first time in the United States? My New York, 1983. Lisa, 1952. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Converting, 1947. Let's see what's going on. Nazareth, 1963. Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts. 1492, 61. What year? 1962. 1776, 1983, 83, you kids laugh out loud. 1492, laughing out loud. The year was 1941. I think it was July 1st, 1941, that American television was licensed to be allowed to sell ads on the airwaves. Radio had been doing it for decades, always licensed and so on. Color, 1978, nope. 2023, Technicolor, 52, 77. Wow, the actual year is surprising. 1959, television, color television was invented in the 30s. Invented, along with television itself. Television was invented prior to the 30s, but what we now know as the tube TV was perfected. Color TVs were produced as early as the 30s, but commercially they were available in early 1950s. The trick was that a black and white signal that would go out took so many watts of power or so much spectrum in the waves that were available to go, where with a color television, color signals, you needed more. And the scientists of the day and the inventors of the day back in New Jersey and New York State and Pennsylvania were trying to come up with a way to have a broadcast signal go out in color or black and white that both television sets could receive at the same time, and it wouldn't make a difference to either one, so that the color television set would get a color photo and the black and white television would broadcast in black and white. And they perfected that in the 50s. And it was about 51 to 54 that it began. And the earliest sets that were made available to be bought, and this is from RCA and other brands, was 53, 54, 55. That's when it began. And the first time I saw a color television in real life was 1962. That's the first time I saw it. I was 7. I was born in 55. So obviously, if I were 3 years old and being carried by my dad in a department store somewhere, and there were color TVs on display, I wouldn't know what I was looking at. I had no idea what that was. But by age 7, I knew what a television was. And we had a black and white in our house. But our neighbors across the street had a color television. And I got to see that for the first time. Fascinating. I love the history of television. I'm absolutely, I love that information. Fascinating to me how the United States became a nationally connected entity through radio and television obviously radio through the early 1900s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then television right after that. Absolutely fascinating. The early days of TV and so on. Anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting. 1941, but nobody sold advertising on television in 1941 because in 1941 the war broke out. Pearl Harbor was bombed in November 4th, I believe. Tomorrow will be the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's November 11th. I can't remember the date that will live in infamy. 1941. And so when the war broke out, everything was stopped. Everything was halted, frozen, no television. No cars were produced anymore. All production of an industrial nature was for one purpose and one purpose only, the military effort. And everything was produced for the soldiers and only the soldiers. And those of you at home, if you had a 10-year-old car, you had to find a way to keep it going. And so you would go to junk yards to get parts to keep that old clunker going. And even then, you only got so much gas every week under rationing to keep the car powered up in any event. America completely changed its economy over from a capitalistic, free-based economy to a full-blown military economy until 1945. And Ford and GM, Chrysler, they didn't produce cars. They produced weapons and bombers and other airplanes, jeeps, tanks, and so on. And that was the way it was until 1945. And then after 45, television started to come back. It started to come on. And in 45, 46, TV was unleashed upon America. And by 1948, 49, 50, Uncle Milty showed up, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar Comedy Hour showed up, and everything else. I Love Lucy in 1951, and away we go. Advertising on TV was just as prevalent as on radio. And of course, the Jack Benny's and the Bob Hopes of the world shifted from radio to television. And Arthur Godfrey was the king of pitchmen in those years. And these guys made the equivalent of what we now see today, millions being made by the Kardashians and by other pitch people in our modern world. Hasn't ended. It's just next generation, next generation, next generation. Anyway, there you are. The markets are down. We're opening in 16 minutes. We're down 259 points on the Dow. We're off 40 on the S&P. We're off 28 at the moment. Jobless claims dip to 217,000 and stay near pandemic lows. This is bad news for the Fed. The jobless claim numbers are not going up. That means unemployment is not rising. And that means interest rates have to go higher for longer to try to slow down demand and try to keep inflation in check. The Dow now is down 262 because this headline is not what the Fed wants to have come out. Strong U.S. economy might be good for workers, but not good for the Federal Reserve. Another little thing for you. I'm just making a note here. Read last night that the union representing the American Airlines Pilots Union have rejected a tentative negotiated deal that the union thought they had with the airline with regards to a pay increase for the American Airlines pilots. The pilots have said, no, we're not interested. What did they say no to? A 20% pay raise. They said no to 20% more. The deal would have called for a first-year boost of at least 8-10%, a second-year boost of another 7-something%, and a third-year boost of 2 or 3%. The pilots went, no thanks, we're not interested, we want more. Delta is having problems with its unions. The airlines are getting to the point where in the next few months, they might all go on strike. There could be a national airstrike in the United States within the next several months, unless the government of the United States, with a potentially divided government, Republicans in the House, Democrats holding the Senate and the White House, or Republicans in the House and the Senate and a Democratic president, can't get a deal done to force pilots to keep flying. This will cost the American economy serious points on their GDP numbers. This will push America into a full-blown recession within weeks. Absolutely no stopping it. it would be devastating to the American economy. And of course, what will the Republicans do? The Republicans will say to the White House, well, we'll sign off on this legislation to put these guys back to work, but we want this in exchange. We want to make a deal. And that will basically kill the infrastructure deal. That will kill student debt forgiveness. That will kill Obamacare. That will kill all kinds of social programs, because that's what the Republicans are going to want. And now the question is, do you go into a full-blown economic recession, or do the Republicans get what they want, as opposed to what the Democrats are trying to run through? But it's up to you, America. You get to vote between now and Tuesday. You decide your future. We're just here watching the markets, trying to make a few bucks. That's all we're trying to do. If the Republicans want to take over any of those two institutions, we know the direction this market's going. It's going to go down. It is going to tank big time. You want to see margin calls? Oh, are you going to see margin calls? But hey, it's up to Americans to decide what they want out of their lives. There you go. Are we having fun yet? It's such a good time. I'll tell you. We got 12 minutes to go. And then we're ready to run and roll, rock and roll. Everybody having a good time. I hope you are. We're looking at some pre-market quotes here. Let's take a look at where we're at right now. And I've got to take off my sweatshirt here because it's nice and warm in this room. The furnace is working in this house. I'll tell you that. It's working very well and no complaints. There we go, everybody. Thank you all for being here with me today. Stake bids save lives. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's see what happens today. We've got Rocket Lab down 6 cents. SoFi is down 11 to 501. We've got GameStop down 57 cents to 26.29, now down 33, jumping around here. We got Matterport up to 23andMe down a penny, Aspire down 2. What else? I don't see much else on some of these other SPACs. I got Apple down $3 to 142.04, Goldman down 230, Cisco down 18 cents, Tesla down 343. It's also getting hit with this China news. ARC Innovations down $1.06, Microsoft off 57 cents, Bed Bath Beyond down 2 to 401.9, Pfizer down 43 cents. It's now at 46.25. We've got HPQ down 29 to 26.69. Carvana down 20. Alphabet, that's Google, down 31 cents to 86.76. And Amazon at 92.78, up 65 cents at the moment. That is what I see happening here on the pre-market, more or less. Over here, Apple, like I said, down 302. We've got Netflix sitting at 269.62, down 338. Nick is getting closer and closer to his target, and others who have higher averages on their shorts are doing well. Headline: former Pakistan Premier Imran Khan wounded in a gun attack. They attempted to assassinate him to make sure he would never run for prime minister again. There you go. Lovely times in Pakistan. Who wants to go on a holiday there? Holy moly macaroni. Tons of fun. Down 230 on the Dow, down 36 on S&P, down 123 on NASDAQ. Crude down $1.49 a barrel to 88.51. So what's going on, kids? We have a down market going on right now. Okay, such fun. And Zane, yes sir, we got you. We got you. All is good. Looking forward to seeing you in the class. Perfect, buddy. Absolutely perfect. Welcome one, welcome all to the show, to the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of everybody. It's another fun day in the markets and the world at large. And what can I say? If you're an option writer, you couldn't ask for a better situation to be in right now. Thank you for the 128 thumbs ups already. Hard to get thumbs ups on a show where it's just negative ranting and raving. But thank you for those of you who have stepped up to hit the thumbs up button for me. You do it automatically every day. I never have to ask you. I thank you so much for helping us out. We desperately try to hit at least 200 thumbs ups, preferably before the markets open. But, I have to sometimes tell you all about Kumbaya, singing by the campfire stories in order to get thumbs ups, because those of you, there are some of you out there who just can't handle the bad news, and you won't give a thumbs ups unless I tell you good things. But I got to give you both sides of the story. If you don't get both sides of the story, how in the world can you make an educated decision on what the hell is going on? But there are so many folks out there who don't want both sides of the story. They only want their side of the story because that's the one they believe in. And they believe that everything else is bunk. And you're going to get informed decisions from uninformed people. That's the plan. And unfortunately, that's what's happening in real life right now at your office, at your workplace, in your local city halls, in your local community centers, in some cases in your churches, your libraries now, your school boards. You're getting one-sided arguments with one-sided informed decision makers, and it is scary what is happening out there. And the only power that you folks have to change that is your vote. It's the only thing you got. You can scream all you want, but unless you mark the X on the spot, you can't change anything. So up to you people, what you want. I'm just going to be here covering it, and we'll see where we go. We have 150 thumbs ups coming in. Thank you for you folks who just immediately reacted to my pleas for thumbs ups. I appreciate it. 50 more thumbs ups, and we've got 200 going into the show this morning. We have 286 people here. 150 thumbs ups have come in, and I'm begging 50 of you to come on in here and hit that thumbs up button. Out of the 280 that are here, please help us out. Thank you so much. 153 and counting. We love you for it. I do appreciate it. I hope you all make money today. I hope the market just gives you a payoff like you can't believe. I will say this. I would not guarantee that you have to or insist that you have to make a trade today on any options you've written in the last little while. If you did if you wrote options, say 2 weeks ago, to November or December, or you've done rollovers now into December or January, there is no rule saying that today you have to buy back your calls. That is not at all on the table. By the way, 162 thumbs up. We need 38 more. Thank you, everybody. 38 more, 37 more, and we got it. Today is the day where I would call today moving day. We had the initial move last night in the last hour of trading when the market reacted to Powell's questions and answers. That was the tip of the iceberg. That was just a hint of what's coming. We are going to get some serious stuff happening our direction. I mean, serious stuff. We're down 220 in the pre-market. This is nothing. This is a tentative. People not sure. Should I buy? Should I sell? We haven't got the sell wave yet. I am looking for the market to give back most of the gains we've had in the last 2 to 3 weeks, to hit new lows. Again, new lows for the year for all of these indexes. It might be that the NASDAQ will be the first one to do it because it's the highest PE multiple exchange, with the Dow grudgingly coming along. Makes sense. That makes sense. But we'll find out. The S&P is off 1 percentage point right now. The Dow's only off 0.7. So the Dow is off more now than it was yesterday in relation to the NASDAQ, because yesterday the NASDAQ was way down and the Dow didn't want to do it. And it finally gave up 500, but it should have given up 1,200 yesterday. It didn't give up 1,200. It's off 220 at the moment, but NASDAQ is still leading the Dow lower. We're going to hit newer lows, and I haven't seen the capitulation yet. That's what I'm waiting for. That's why I'm asking you folks, if you can write contracts and bring in a bunch of cash that you could sit on here, sit on this money and wait for a bargain day. This is not it. 235 down dip is not a bargain day right now on the Dow. This is just another slight fluctuation of a 31,900 point market. That's all this is. We are going to get hits. We are going to get hits because what's happening every day that goes by, corporate America comes up with its earnings. Well, we're running out of earnings. We've had the banks 3 weeks ago. We had the computers last week, the software. This week we got a whole bunch of others coming out. We still have earnings for another week or two, but it's piddling out now. Earnings season's about over. Then it's all about the fourth quarter and the first quarter. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And it ain't going to be good. It's not going to be pretty. Well, I got somebody who's made a donation, but I can't read that name. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to have some really volatile markets coming up here. And as option writers, just sit tight, cross your arms, and watch the carnage. I would not be putting in stink bids. For example, let's say you wrote a call for 475. I would not putting in a stink bid for 350. I wouldn't even be putting in a bid for $3. I'm not interested in a $1 profit or a $1.50 profit on my option right that I did 2 weeks ago. No. The reason I wrote a call option for $4.50, $4.75, $5 is because I want to buy them back at $1.20, and I'm still being generous down there because I will rewrite another contract for $4 or $5 to replace that one. I want another $3 or $4 again in my hand in cash. You will pay me now. I have written these calls and taken the cash in my hands, and I'm giving a fraction of it back and taking another gob of this stuff into my hands. That's how casinos operate. That's how you're going to operate. You're going to take the cash and enjoy these huge premiums. You're not gambling on the market. The option buyers are the gamblers. You are the house offering liquidity. And the funny thing is, when you offer liquidity, you're taking money off the table. What? Yes, you're taking the money and holding it into your account. That's called adding liquidity to the options market. It's bizarro. It's a George Costanza. It's unbelievable. It's the opposite. Absolutely amazing. The U.S. trade deficit jumps to a 3-month high. A strong dollar dents exports. Yes, that's what happens. American products are so expensive now because they're priced in U.S. dollars that foreigners can't afford as much. They buy less. Americans can afford more imports because they're cheaper. American dollars go further overseas, and so Americans import. This is great for the American consumer in a way, but not good because it means there'll be layoffs at firms that can't move American-made products as well. Hence why this company right here has figured out the solution to this problem. American dollar is really strong. Oh, okay, we'll make these in third world countries with third world working conditions where we don't have to answer to the labor board of anybody. We will work with people to make these for us in such a way that they will be worked to death and we're not responsible. And we can bring these shiny little toys into our country in America and our friends in Canada and the UK and Europe, and we can get top dollar for this stuff in American money and make our American shareholders proud of us. That's the new game in town. Been this way for decades. Why are there plants in Mexico? Why are there factories in Indonesia? Why are there factories making goods in Philippines for American consumers? They used to be made in Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, North and South Carolina. Used to be made in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. There were factories everywhere. Did you know that Zenith televisions, Motorola televisions, and Admiral televisions, the 3 biggest brands of television makers making black and white and color televisions, were based in Illinois, Chicago. Chicago, Illinois was home to some of the largest television factories in the United States, including factories in New Jersey, New York State, Pennsylvania. The American appetite for televisions was insatiable in the 50s and the 60s. Hundreds of millions of sets had to be made, and they were made in the USA by American workers. There are none made in America anymore. It's all imported. That's the new normal. Larry, thank you for hitting the bell, baby. We are up and running. We're flying. We're going. We're trading. It's, oh, goodness gracious. It's all good times. Thank you all for being here. Let's see how the market wants to roll today. Can any of you make money today in this market? I would think so. I would think that money can be made on a market like this. I'm showing the Dow at the moment down 261 at the moment. Let's see how accurate that is when I refresh this big, bad, big ass iPad I have over here. 273 or so. Yep, down 270 on the Dow. We got the S&P down 42. We got NASDAQ down 120. The NASDAQ is down 1.1%. S&P down 1.1%. The Dow is down 0.85%. Very close. Oil down 164 a barrel to 88.34 because slowdown in economies means less demand for fuel, less demand for oil, and all of its byproducts. What oil is also making, other than just what we burn off, we use oil for a lot of products. Fewer products being made, fewer oil needed to make products. We're going to back off. GameStop is down 51 cents to 26.12 a share right now. We're down 56 or 50 odd cents a share on GameStop. We're dropping. 26.02, low of the day now on GameStop, down 60 cents. So we're going lower. Amazon down 42 cents. Netflix down 274 to 270.26. Tesla down $1. Apple down 290 to 142.13. SoFi 506 down 7 cents, kind of where it was last night. HPQ down 43 more cents to 26.55. Rocket Lab down 6. Moderna down $10 today on disappointing third quarter results. I know a guy that writes options on this stuff who's got to be going, oh, those options I wrote are probably crapping out right now. I might want to buy them back and write closer in contracts for more cash in my account. I think he's thinking that. I wonder if he's here. ME down 6 cents. Matterport unchanged. ATIP down 4. SmartRent down 3. Spire unchanged really. Cyxtera down a dime. The AMC APE combination down 13 cents today. We're now trading at around $7.40 a share combined unit value. Bed Bath Beyond is up 2 cents to $4.06. Pfizer down 13 cents to $46.54. I have people I know that write calls on Pfizer, and those calls are crapping out big time. We have an interesting day coming up here. We'll watch that closely. Boeing up $3 to $150. Cisco down 61 to $43.96. Home Depot down again $4 a share, $3.88 to $284.85. We've got Vanik Vectors down $2. IBM down 55 cents. Microsoft down a dime. Goldman down $3.80. Google down 65. Adobe down $4 a share to $2.97. Meta Platforms down 43 cents. BlackBerry down 11. Royal Caribbean down $1.11. They came out with their financials this morning. They announced that they made a profit and they're running at 105% occupancy on their ships. Would you like to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise right now? Would you like to go on a ship with 5,500 people that is designed to hold 4,500 to 5,000 people plus 1,500 to 2,000 crew? Would you like to be on board a ship with 15 to 17 levels, all compacted in there for a week where you don't know who's had the vaccine, who hasn't had the vaccine, who's a carrier of the COVID right now, has no sign or symptoms? You have no testing getting on the ship. While on the ship, you haven't got a clue who's ill when you get to the islands you're going to get to. And then when you get home, how confident are you you're not going to have a fever when you get home from a cruise with 7,000 strangers or from around the world, of which a whole bunch of them have been deniers of the virus? You want to do that? Good luck with that. We're down 90 cents on Royal Caribbean right now. We'll see how that plays out. Costco up 62 cents. Walmart down 9. Nvidia down 97 cents. Disney down $1.20. And American Airlines down 14 cents. There you go. We're down 218. This is a nothing burger so far on this market. The question is, how low is this market going to go, and when will it really pick up? When will the selling really come in? I don't know if we have it yet. It's not showing at the moment. We're not even down 1% on the Dow, and we're only down 1.08% on NASDAQ. The oil market is showing it. We're down 170 on oil, 88.30. I'm surprised it's even at 80. The demand for oil is going to be plummeting dramatically. We've got Netflix down 54, Tesla up 52 cents, Apple down 277, GameStop at 26.38. The low today on GameStop so far has been 26.02. The high 26.47. We only had a 45-cent swing, and we're at 26.44, trying to figure out what direction we're going. There it is. The Chairman Powell's words are weighing on Wall Street this morning. Words from last night are weighing on Wall Street this morning. That is what the headline is at the moment. All right, there it is. There it is. There it is. Netflix 273, trying to go higher desperately. I don't know why you'd want to buy this stuff, but there are people who are in a fantasy world that think Netflix is going to make nothing but money, and I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll figure that one out. The high of the year for Netflix, $700. The low, 162. I say we're going lower than that. We're going to be under 150 within the year. That's where I think this thing is headed. But hey, I'm just an old man who doesn't know what he's talking about. And, homeless, got nothing to show for his efforts. What can I say? Thank you all. Welcome to the party, pal. We're going to be in for some fun here as we watch these markets just trade, and trade. Pfizer down 46 cents, down a full percentage point. The Dow down at the moment 208 points. Here we go. Apple at 142.20, down 283. That's the one to watch. Is this one going to give up $5-10 today again? Because we dropped yesterday. It could be interesting. Last week we were at 157. We're already down $15 in a week on Apple. We're down $15 in the past week on Apple. That was the 28th of October. Interesting to see how this thing has given up some ground. And as I said earlier, we were at 174.55 just in late August, if I got my timing correct. Going to be interesting to see how this all plays itself out. It was August the 17th, August 17th, 174.55 is where we were. We're 142 now. We're $32 lower from August 17th to where we are here. And the low in the summertime was 130.06, June 16th. And I think we're going lower than that on Apple, among other stocks that are going to be under pressure. We'll see how this plays out. Oh, my. Thank you all for joining me. Nice to have you here. The thumbs up brigade. We have 186 thumbs ups in the house. We need 14 more to get to 200. Please hit the thumbs up button for me. I beg you, hit it. We want to hit 200 thumbs ups as soon as possible and get beyond that. Thank you for joining me today from around the world. Cheers to all of you from your pals here. Oh, that's so good. I wanted to see if I could show you something today. Let me double check and see if this is available for viewing. Let me take a look here. There it is. Let's see if this works. Yes, we have something new available right now at the Redbubble store, and we're going to add more of these items. You can order one of these. You can now get your hands on one of these babies right here if you decide to go after a Rugman Yoink travel mug, now available on Redbubble. T-shirts are on the way probably later today. Just stick around with me. Be patient. We have had to do some work with our friend Zach here on sizing this thing just right so that we can show it off. I can show you another item. Here you go. Here's a little tote bag here with the Rugman logo on it. You gotta love this. This is just great. I love this. There's sweatshirts coming, t-shirts coming, hoodies are coming, women's tops are coming. If you go to Redbubble now, there are about 28 items already with these logos on it. Some look better than others. Check it out. If you have an interest in any of those, order them up through Redbubble. They'll take care of you. You can find the link to Redbubble down below in my description. I've always got the Redbubble link down there. You can always head to my store, head to the Bruce Farmer store, and you'll find items. If you look for travel mugs, you might find an image of a logo on there from my other channel. Just click on that and then scroll down a little bit. It'll say on the bottom other logos that are featured on these travel mugs from Bruce. Click on that, and this logo will pop up, and now you can see all the items with that logo on. Oh, we're gonna have fun. We'll be adding more later today. All right, this is gonna be fun. All right, what else is going on? Larry has rung the bells. Thank you. Let's go. Alberto, GameStop 30s are at 145, a bit conservative, just looking to scoop up some moolah. Yeah, you make a few bucks there. There are many more dollars available at a little lower than that, but whatever. Hello, Jen. How are you?
I flew in like Rugman.
Yes, just came in like Rugman. Alberta's looking at 11.25s. That's a bit too far out for 30s. I wouldn't even go that far out. If you want to write, I'd write the week further in because that's the third Friday of the month. There's probably tighter spread between bid and ask, more liquidity. Take a look at 29s for a closer in date. It's 26.56 on the stock. But hey, it's up to you, my friend. You decide. What else we got? Oh, holy hell, that is awesome, says Coyote. Alex, I just love days like today, just sitting back and watching covered calls drop in value. This is beautiful. Mike, that was fast, turning those logos around. Well, Jen is working here. Jen was doing that. 11.18 Tesla 222 strike for 890. 11.18 Tesla 222s for 890. Put me on the spot just to come up with an answer just like that. I don't like you writing calls under $10 each. I want you bringing in big money here. If you buy this for $5.90, you make $3. Great, but that's not worth your risk. You deserve more. 11.18, still 15 days from now. It's not that you have to wait 15 days to buy these back for less, but keep looking for something over $10. Even if you write a December contract, can bring in $14, $15, $18, $20. I would go there and scoop an $8, $10 bill out of these. I want you paid. I want you paid well. You put up some money for this. You should be paid well for this. Just my initial thought. Just my initial thought. SoFi 513 up a penny. Giddy up. Next from Marvel, Miraculous says Rugman original origin story born by Uncle Bruce 3. The original story. JR, a Rugman was bitten by a radioactive Uncle B. Alex, JR, super opportunity for investment. SoFi. JR, I have shares, but the whipsaw is making my neck hurt. SoFi's had enough. We're going up. We're at 513. We're going higher. SoFi trying to run now. 514. Let's go. Alberto will adjust my cover calls. I thank you. You betcha. I want you bringing in money, buddy. I want you bringing in cash. You deserve the big payoffs here. Not nickels and dimes. No. You're not a charity. You are not a charity. We're down 200 on the Dow, down 41 in S&P. We're down 139 on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is down 1.3%. It's going lower. The Dow is not joining it yet. It's down 0.72, but it's almost at half. The Dow should be down closer to 500 right now to match NASDAQ. This is the same pattern we saw yesterday. We'll watch for that. Oil down 192 a barrel right now. We'll watch to that. Breaking news, Apple and Cisco share losses contribute to the Dow's 216-point decline. That's what they're saying. Pfizer's off 21, Cisco down $1.10 to 43.46. Home Depot down $4.98 right now. We've got Adobe down $6.30. Adobe option writers are doing very well today. Down $2.29 on the Dow. There you go. Jen, what's happening? How are you?
Well, it's a good thing you work from home.
It's a good thing I work from home. Okay.
We started out this morning with a 9-car pileup on the Deerfoot.
It's our main expressway in town, north-south, main north-south artery, 9-car pileup.
9-car going north.
I'm glad I'm not in that. Just sitting in traffic or part of that.
Oh, just sitting. And you got to slow down so you can look at it when you're going the other
The
way.
rubberneckers both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got all that going.
Ugh, yeah.
It's that that ice underneath with the snow on
The
top.
black ice. Yeah. It's not good. Not good times. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day today. Sun is coming. It's clear sky, I believe, out right now, but pileups anyway.
It's going to melt again.
It's going to melt and refreeze
And
and
freeze.
melt and refreeze. It's going to be bad. We're going down in temperature next week, big
It's
time.
like -13 right now.
Yeah, it's cold.
But I'm not going outside.
No, you're not. For you Americans out there, we're at 7 degrees Fahrenheit right now. 7. So we have black ice all over the place. Not good. High today will be 30. That's our high, but it will be sunny. Sunrise 8:32. That's in 45 minutes from now before we see sunrise. And the sun won't hit the road until about 9:30. Yeah. It'll take an hour for the sun to get high enough to even hit the pavement to have any effect on it. Yeah, shorter days. Our sunset today is at 6:06.
Coming up to the solstice, and we'll start getting warmer.
Yeah, let's take a look at something else here. I'm kind of curious. What's the high today in Palm Desert? What's that going to be today? Oh, 70. That's actually kind of cool.
Very pleasant.
It's pleasantly cool in Palm Desert. Pleasantly pleasant.
Pleasantly pleasant.
Looks like mostly sunshine for the next week, with highs expected as 79 by Sunday, into the 70s next week. I think that's very tolerable for Canadians to take. We can handle this. We can rough it down there with that. We're eager to try and handle it. Yes. Okay. Well, there you go. Fun times at the OK Corral. We're down 240 on the Dow. We're down 44 on S&P. We're down 144 on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is still backing off. Whether the Dow likes it or not, NASDAQ is backing off. 270 on Netflix again. We're down. We were up a little. We're down again. Tesla just down 7 cents right now. Apple down 4.17. Apple is now at 140.87. We're going to break 140 the way this is going. Have we already done it? 140.76. This is the low of the day for Apple. We're at about the low of the day. Well, we might break 140 today, and then we'll see what happens. Another technical thing. GameStop backing off again. 26.40, 26.37 down 25 cents. There we go. Had a little dead cat recovery, and now down we go again on GameStop. Fantastic. Well, Jen, what should I have on my bagel today?
I don't know.
I don't know, she says.
Cheese, we got liverwurst.
I wonder. You know what? What about that? Do we still have cheddar cheese? We could melt that on there.
You like that melted on?
Love that melted cheddar cheese,
cheddar,
real
greasy goodness.
Yeah, that greasy goodness of a toasted bagel with the melted cheddar.
I'll see what I can do.
Giddy up. Okay, thank you, Miss Jen. So appreciate you for this. What is happening here? Constantine, Uncle Bruce, if I buy back my calls, my 2625s that I sold at 525, more than 100%, 120% in the red, my initial premium 231. Okay, and then rolled into 2750s at 560. When I buy back in order to make profits, I have to pay 30 cents or less. How does this work? Let's take a look here now. You sold your calls originally for 231, and then you sold new calls at 560. What price should you be buying them back at now? Is that what I'm gathering from you? Because you have 2750 calls now. Okay, you've done the rollover. They're out of the money, so they're worthless except for time. I think you've got further out in time written on these. I don't remember exactly what this is. What to do and how to do it is the question. So I got to take a peek at something. Of course, I'm guessing what contracts we're dealing with here. Let's see. Would it be possible that you had written December calls? Did you write December 16s? I'm going to double check this. 2750s are 305 bid right now. Last trade at 350 yesterday, so they're already down to 305 and falling. Are those the ones? Constantine, right now, I'm telling you to do nothing really. Anyway, no matter which ones you wrote, you're doing nothing. You're just gonna let the stock drop. We're down 48 cents again. We're 26.14. We're now down 56, 26.06. We're going down here, buddy. We're going down. We're going down a ways. We're going to be in the 25s easily, I think, on GameStop in the very immediate future. We just touched 26 a few moments ago. I mean, we're going down here. So let this back off to the 25 range, $25 range, 24.75 range. Let's see if the market takes a dump. We're down 350 on the Dow. We're finally getting some selling here. I'm looking for a wave of selling, a serious 800, 1,000 point dump on the Dow. I'm looking for a drop, okay? Not 200 or 300 courtesy points. I'm looking for a drop here. NASDAQ is down 1.5% and it's still falling. The Dow now down 1.1. We're getting with the program here on the Dow. 26.10 on GameStop. We're $1.52 high right now. Apple 140.65. We're going under 140 to 130. Netflix 271. We're going to 250. Amazon is 92. It's a miracle that it's holding that. SoFi 512, 514. Reflecting a little more reality. Kent, it's perfect golf weather, Bruce. I hear you. HPQ down 68 cents to 26.30. Those of you writing HPQ calls, time to be looking at those. Keep an eye on them and see if they're coming down nicely. But if you're going to buy back calls on HPQ, you're going to write new ones right away. I don't know if you did rollovers on HPQs. Did you do rollovers into 27s and 28s? Can you buy those back and write 27s closer in? Watch your option chains. If you can't, sit back. Let this market back off. It will take these with it. That is the plan here. What else are we watching here? Pfizer down 22 cents to 46.44. Boeing only up $1.89. We're backing off. Cisco down $1.09. Did you folks do rollovers on Cisco? Did you folks write 44s, 45s, 46s? Where are we at here? Keeping an eye on the deterioration of those contracts. We got Home Depot down $7 to 281. I know someone that writes Home Depot contracts. Oh, got to be looking good here. We got Vanik down 394, IBM down 193, Microsoft down 270, Goldman down 6, Google down 113, Adobe down 778. We have got backing off going on here. Down 368 on the Dow, 172 on NASDAQ. NASDAQ still leading the way. S&P down 54, 1.4%. Oil down 156. Okay, are you quoting Blues Brothers now? We're on a mission from God. Credit Savage of Wall Street. I love watching the snow on TV from California. Weather is so terrible. I'm taking my family to Orange County to rough it at the Waldorf Astoria to celebrate the wife's birthday. Thank you, Covered Calls and Uncle Bruce. There you go. Giddy up. Beach Boy, Noman. We're musicians. Noman. Dang Keyboard says Beach Boy. JJ Blues Brothers. Constantine, I wrote January's, Bruce. Okay, January's. You wrote 27 something January's. I get you. Let's take a peek here at what we got going on. So much fun. So much fun. Michael's saying, I'm glad I held my Apple 145s through all this stuff. Last year, I may have panicked and bought them back. And now he's sitting at a 139.75 market on Apple. And down they go. How about that? We'll adjust my covered calls. Thank you, says our man Alberto. Love this, you guys. Love it all. Let's see, where am I? Bettina, the rug beater, very single, very Eastern European professional rug beater, interested in meet and beat with Rugman with view to beating inflation. Oh man, sitting in traffic soon gets old, even in a Tesla. There you go. Okay, so Constantine wrote 2750s for January, probably January 20s. So those 2750s are now 385 bid, and that's 10 minutes ago because this market is dropping now. So we probably dropped a bit more, but 385 bid, and all you're doing is crossing your arms. Last trade was yesterday, I think, at 440, if that's even accurate. 385 bid. You always look at the bid for the market. It's what someone willing to pay for it. The 2875s are 360 bid. The 30s are 335 bid. The 2625s are 435 bid. Down we go on these contracts. Down, down, down. How about that? All righty, everybody. We're having fun. Alberto, as I drive my Tesla looking at another Tesla, I wrote covered calls on Tesla. There you go. JJ, we're putting a band back together and we're on a mission from God. Who are you going to call? Rugman. Michael knows Apple under 140, 139.59. Coyote just opened a SoFi savings account and deposit money in it. Let's go. Mr. T. Hi, Uncle Bruce. Number 131 today. I'd really like to understand this. There is open interest of 23,000 on GameStop, January 2023. So what is this indicating? Do you see this as your big ass? Do you see this on your big ass iPad? Good stuff. You've got 23,000 OI. That means there's a lot of contracts out there that have been created for that time frame. That's very, very good. It shows you there's a lot of interest to buy and sell those calls, or it could well be that someone wrote a big block of calls and there was someone to buy them up. Looks like you're talking about the 200s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Also, I noticed on the 237.50s, there are 146,000 in existence, trading at 10 to 11 cents each. So if you want to buy a call on GameStop, on GameStop with a 237 price on it, that's $1,100. A pre-split. There you go, 11 cents. How about that? You can write them if you want. Wow, goofy, crazy, wild, wacky, insane. Welcome to the party, pal. Are we having fun or what? Unbelievable. The Dow down 380 points. S&P down 57. NASDAQ down 190, 1.8%. That's what's going on. Ruku's grim forecast for holiday season tanks stock as macro headwinds deemed too severe. There it is. It's a tough one out there. Netflix 271, Apple 139.71, GameStop 26.23 down 39 cents, 26.18 down 44, falling again. Interesting. Yes, 200s and 237 says Mr. T. There are a gazillion contracts out there. Kind of work. Yeah. Thank you. Why are you giving me this?
So you put the plate on.
No. I just want one of these. I'm fine. Well, we have a little show here. We have Kermit coming in to say hi to us. Kermit has been decapitated by Auntie Jen. Kermit obviously said something to Auntie Jen that pissed her off, and now Kermit's head is all by itself. Help me, please. This is your moderator for your class on Saturday, and here we go.
Go Rugman.
Go Rugman. You gotta love that. Auntie Jen was busy last night putting those products out on the Redbubble site for you guys. We'll have more items available later today because we got the logo sized up just perfectly for t-shirts and stuff. Fun times. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Melted cheddar cheese on a toasted sesame seed bagel. The Dow's off 400 points. Getting froggy with it. Thumbs ups are looking good. 200 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. I didn't want it to end like this, says Kermit. Not like this. Damn your necromancy, Jen. Constantine, Uncle Bruce, the question was, what will be the buyback amount per share in order for me to make a profit to cover the previous loss? Because in my mind, I have to wait for the contract to drop to at least 30. No, you don't. You figured out how much money you brought in, how much you paid out, how much you brought in. Now you know where you stand. Do the math. What did you sell them for? What did you buy them back for? What did you resell them for? How much money do you have? Because you've got a cash balance. That is the number that it's cost you to write. This is the number you have to buy back below to make money. And if they're quoted right now at this lower level, you've got to be ahead on this game already. You have to be ahead on this game. Plus the fact, of course, you raised your strike price, which was a brilliant move. With the stock at 26.15 and falling, your call is out of the money and is going to keep shrinking. And if it drops today to $25 a share, again, I'm not saying it will, but what if it did? Your call will drop another 60, 65 cents. You're going to be in the high twos, low threes. You are ahead on your trade. You are definitely making money. This is the math I need you to do. Go get a piece of paper, a pen, a calculator. In other words, your phone. How much did you get first? What did you buy it back for? What did you sell the next one for? What's that number now? And now you know what your cost, your actual revenues are into this deal. More news coming up. The ISM Services Index drops to 54.4 in October from 56.7. U.S. factory orders are up 0.3% in September, matching forecasts. The Dow is down 363. Okay. Thank you all. Coyote, Constantine. From a roll, original premium plus second premium minus the buyback. This is why we track every write and buyback. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, and gang from Adventures with Duncan. I also am having problems with my YouTube account. Please let the Bagel family know. I was trying to add YouTube streaming TV and added new credit card and issues. Okay, I'm hearing this more and more and more. I'm hearing this story more and more from more people on other channels as well. Okay. Love you, but lovely, Duncan. You know it. Thanks, pal. Okay. 26.05 on GameStop. Low of the day, 26. We're heading for the lower end of the range at the moment. The Dow down 311. Long story short, waiting on a new credit card. Coyote, get them spreadsheets working, people. No more guessing. Nick, Uncle Bruce, I lost the links for classes 1, 2, 8, 11, and 13. I sent you an email. I need to see them, so I'll be ready for number 14 on Saturday. I'll get you those after. Look who's back. He's back. He's here. Nick is back. Nick is out of jail, and he's back. And buddy, okay, I'll get you that after the show. Fantastic. Spreadsheets save lives. Thanks, Coyote. BBBY, sub $4. JR, making a matchup a Rugman theme as we speak. We'll post on Discord later today. Bobby, where's my abacus? Welcome to the party, you guys. Watching this market gyrate. I'm waiting for a dip, a real dip, and it's not going to be 1 hour long. It's going to be weeks. Looking for a pullback. You sell on the news. News is out. Apple, 140.04, going under again. 508 on SoFi. I wonder, Nick, what ended up happening that fixed it? Did it just fix itself? What happened? Mm. I will say this, just to let you know, if out of nowhere you can't communicate with us, the YouTube thing shuts down on you, you can always send me a private email. I might not be able to read it on the air, but I probably can. I'll get to it between shows, and just let me know. Hey, it's so and so here. This is my handle. This is my name. I can't communicate right now on the channel. Just want to let you know. Or I have a question for you, Bruce. You said something about this. Can you explain that for me? I'll try to get back to you either on an email or I'll mention it on the next program. I'll do the best I can. Okay. Thank you all. Uncle Bruce, I cleared cache, created handle that YouTube wanted me to create, and updated CC credit card, updated credit card. Unbelievable. Square. Even Organigram is moving harder. I don't know what this means. JR, Nick, did you give our regards to Tony while you were out there in Neverland? We haven't seen him in years. We don't know whatever happened to that guy. $26.15 on GameStop. The Powerball jackpot is now $1.5 billion, third highest in history for the USA. The 2-year Treasury yield is above 4.7%. Oil down $1.90. I gotta ask. The sesame seeds don't get soggy while melting the cheese on top? No. You toast the bagel first. You toast the bagel first and get those sesame seeds roasting. You can smell the sesame seeds roasting now. Then you butter the bagel. And you put the slabs of cheese on it. We're doing this from a brick. We have a brick of cheddar, slabs of this stuff, about 1 inch wide and 4 inches long. Put the slabs of cheddar on top of the toasted, buttered bagel, now in the microwave to melt it into the top of the bagel. Well, it's a serious process. This is not a fast food thing, This takes talent, dedication, and the sesame seeds remain crispy and toasted the whole time. Oh yeah. Last piece. I did skip the last comment about ATIP. It's hanging in there. Who's Tony? He was the first to be locked up. We had to protest in order to free him. Oh man. Mm. How long in the nuker to get this cheese to melt like that? 20, 30 seconds. You keep an eye on it. If it starts bubbling, you've gone too far. But you want it to become nice and gummy. Mm. Nice thick slab of cheese on there. You can see the cheese there. I don't know if you can get there. If I get the camera in there, I don't know. You can see how it melted over the side. See that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Mmm. $2.75 down dip on the down. Okay. Oh, so good. Mm. Thank you for waiting me up today. Again, 26.13 on GameStop. Oh boy. We're down 164 on Amazon. We're down 179 on Netflix, 271.22. Tesla holding a $2 gain at 217. Apple down 4.89 a share at 140.14. The low of the day for Apple, 139 something. Just a sec. I'll see if my phone gives it to me here. It's glitching here. We're down 275 on the Dow, 44 on S&P, 157 on NASDAQ. The low of the day on Apple, 139.36. We're 140.14. This is a dead cat bounce back here. We're $2.22 trillion market cap. 2.22 trillion market cap. Pardon me. Okay. GameStop, 26.12 down 50 cents. The low today, $26 even. I think we're going through that. That's just a matter of time. We're going down and we're going to hit it and we're going to go through 26. Then how low do we go? Do we go to 25.75? We go to 25.55. What's the next support level after we bust 26 out of the way for GameStop? Because I don't think we can hold it. SoFi, 507 down a nickel. HPQ down 50 cents. 26.50, 26.48. We got Moderna down 4 cents at 148 after opening this morning as low as 143. We're now back to 148.52. Okay. We've got Pfizer up 4 cents, a recovery here, slight. Boeing up 375. Cisco up 70, down 70. Pardon me. Cisco down 70. Home Depot down 6.44. Vanik down 238, IBM down 141, Microsoft down $1.80, Goldman down 530, Google down 148, and Adobe down 580 a share. Facebook down 145. Royal Caribbean up 79 cents, defying logic at 50.45 a share. The company's bragging about the fact that they think they can make more money next year and that they're going to work on reducing their debt levels. What they don't talk to you about and what they won't say is what it's going to cost them to raise this extra cash. I don't know if they can hold a profit line. They are talking about that they're earning, their bookings are within normal. They've got record prices coming in and all this stuff, but they have record expenses coming in as well. They're not immune to the inflation problem. They're getting hit with all kinds of cost increases everywhere you go. And you can't just brag about how much money you're bringing in. You have to talk about how much is going out. The profit margin is what we're after, and they're hopeful for a good one. I don't know if it's going to be as well as they expect it to, but look, they're a well-run organization. I mean, Royal Caribbean knows what they're doing. Multiple brands around the world, size ships and crews and entertainment and food and booze and oh my gosh. But at the end of the day, if we're going to keep hearing stories like we have been hearing lately now from Australia, they're one of the only places in the world where we find out true COVID case numbers. We're hearing up to 10% of crew and passengers are getting infected with the virus in a 1 week time frame. Up to 10% infection rates. This is catastrophically bad. This could not be tolerated inside a country, but it's being tolerated on cruise ships. And I am completely certain this is the case. It's as bad as that in the USA right now. I am certain of it. And it doesn't matter if it's Royal Caribbean or if it's Carnival or if it's Norwegian or any of their offshoot brands. These three companies have 75% of the business. MSC has another 12, 15%. The largest cruise operators in the world could be dealing with realistically up to 10% infection rates on their ships after a 1 week cruise between crew and passengers. And no one is getting tested officially. No reporting is being done. No one needs to be vaccinated to get on a cruise ship. No one needs to be tested to get on or get off a cruise ship. Who knows the islands in the Caribbean, how many they're infecting there? We don't know. It is really a mystery right now. And all Wall Street wants to know is, are you making money? Are you making money? Are you making money? And that's how Wall Street thinks. I'm not interested in going on a cruise right now. I'm not really interested in going on a cruise right now. A little too crowded for me, because in some cases, there are ships out there with a 135% occupancy rate. I'm not interested in this. If a ship is designed to hold 5,500 passengers and 2,200 crew, and you're telling me that we could be on a ship with perhaps 10,000 people on board designed for 7,700, I don't want to be on that ship. Not interested getting in line to get on, get off, in the buffet, in the casino, in the show, walking down the hallway, through the pool decks. No, thank you. I want space. I want distance. That's me. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. It's crazy. Okay. Whoever's holding up Netflix, please, would you let it go so I can cover? I promise not to be greedy. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Lobo Blast. Alberto. Okay. I thought it was the guy who could not donate to Uncle Bruce or something, and somebody told him to clean up the crud out of your mouse. Uncle Bruce started to roll over. Most I've ever seen Uncle Bruce. Yeah, it was Tony, and it was Larry Titus who propped that one-liner. That will live in infamy. JR, do you use a toaster oven or a microwave? Microwave seems to make bread products too chewy. I think we use a microwave on this. We could use a toaster oven if we had one here, but we toast it up first, and then we quickly microwave it, and it just comes out beautiful. Nick, and while you're at it, please drop it below 255 on the Netflix. There you go. 210 drop on the Dow right now. Credits average. When it comes to bagels, Uncle Bruce, you must get your hands on a toaster oven. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Bagels come out toasty, warm, and crunchy, yet soft. Life's little pleasures. Alberto, first time I used PayPal via phone, did my donation come through, just making sure it executed. I did get a donation. I just hadn't had time to acknowledge it, but yes, a donation came through, and thank you, Alberto. Made a quick bunch of money here and swapped up my covered calls for more premium. Now we wait. Nice job, buddy. Nice job indeed. And thank you for your generosity. I do appreciate it very, very much, sir. Thank you to whoever this is. MB, thank you, MB, for this donation. I'll see you in class, and we'll call you MB. Oh man, MB said, "Did you get my donation? I want a link." Yes, you will get a link. MB, I will be talking to you. Thank you for that private email, so that I have your email address. You're in to win. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. Very good, very good. All right, let me keep going here as we're watching these markets and see what this direction is going to be here. I'm waiting for a sell-off to kick in. Hasn't happened yet. We haven't even started. Haven't even started yet. Down to we have 211 thumbs ups. Thank you for the thumbs ups of 211. Thank you, guys. And one of my favorite bagel methods, Jude, is saying, is to toast it whole and then slice it. The inside is much softer that way. Coyote, and people still not talk enough about the long-term effects and symptoms of having COVID. There you go. Nick, okay, I'll wait for 2 more weeks to cover. It is going to go near 240 or sooner. JR, Coyote, I hate people who know nothing about medicine and science and won't do their due diligence and research reputable sources and just say, it's just another cold or flu. JR, don't, long COVID is a bad thing and nothing to play with. I still deal with the decreased lung capacity from the flu pneumonia, and that sucks. Nowhere near as bad as long COVID. JR 100% says Alberto. Flint Creek Soap Company, Beach Boy, did your package arrive? I haven't checked tracking this week. I just want to know. Constantine, Uncle Bruce, after the math from the initial sell and buyback, I was 44.24 in the red. After rollover, I got 11.61. So after it drops to 44, I am green. So 44.25. Keep in mind your stock is probably higher than where it was when you first wrote the first contracts, or you're deep in the money calls, and they're probably up as well. And that helps against this as well. Right on, sir. 26.50 on GameStop. The stock's trying to do a run. We'll see if there's anything to it. Mr. Premium of the Option Coyote, my sense of smell is still not what it used to be. Well, I guess my stink bids can get even stinkier then. JR smiling, miraculous. MB, Mr. Burns. Excellent, excellent. Yes, release the hounds. Coyote, Mr. Premium of the Option agreed 100%. Olivia, my dad got COVID for the 3rd time, still refuses to get a vaccine. Unbelievable. I mean, how many times do you want to get hit in the head? I don't know. I don't know. I just, yep. What can I say? What worries me is has the gentleman unknowingly, before he knew he had it, the first time, the second time, the third time, how many people has he infected unknowingly through no knowledge of his own? That's what scares the hell out of me. And if he's exposing this to somebody with health issues, it could affect them badly, really badly. And that includes children. And we're now hearing hospital rates for children in the New York area have risen dramatically in the last month because there's a variant that just attacks those little guys that's out there. And I just, I am just shaking my head at people who are so determined and bullheaded to not get the vaccine. It's incredible to me. We eradicated polio in North America, the measles almost, chicken pox, and other diseases in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. And now we think we're Mr. Smart Guy now. We think we're Mr. Know-it-all, and we don't know jack squat about what's really going on about these viruses. We don't trust the scientists that borrowed $300,000 to get their college degrees. We don't trust these guys. Unbelievable to me. Just unbelievable. We'll invest in the pharmaceuticals when they come up with a new treatment for cancer or something, but we won't trust the same pharmaceuticals who are under unbelievable pressure from the government of the United States and Canada and others to produce a safe vaccine. We don't trust these guys. I throw my hands up in the air and go, I just can't help these people, but I hate it to think about the thought that on cruise ships right now and in other places where there are a lot of people mingling, that innocent people are getting infected from those who know they either have it, that don't believe it's real, or who've had it multiple times and don't know they've got it again because they're going to get reinfected and reinfected and reinfected, and they're spreading this killer virus to people who might die from it. And that is, it's unforgivable. It's just inhumane. I really worry about this. Sad, really, really, really sad. What can I say? Really disappointing. I have several positions that I waited too long and I didn't roll, just waiting for this red market to do its thing. Go Rugman, JR, it's good. The clock alone is going to make you a winner. You're going to win no matter what. You're going to win. Meanwhile, when I got COVID once, it was 100 times milder. Exactly, Uncle Bruce. Sean, good morning, family. A little late today. Alex, that's a pretty good impression there, Bruce. Excellent. Release the hounds. Coyote, if they don't care about themselves, they don't care about others. And if they get sick or die, selfish. Luckily, he has a remote walker and really doesn't go out much. Doesn't excuse it, though. Thank you, Olivia. You're very kind to share this. Michael, hospitals are full with kids with RSV, not COVID. Okay, again, I don't know if it's. I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you what the link is or isn't. I don't want them to get COVID as well as that. Okay, it's just not good. Just to keep it honest. Thank you, Michael. Brian, number 213. Alex, idea for a new channel. Impressions with Uncle Bruce for a modest super chat donation. Uncle Bruce will do Pacino, Burns, or George Bush, the father. There you go. Brian, sorry I'm late, but I did avoid the Deerfoot 9-car pileup. It is cold here. Oh, no. JR, RSV is another issue all by itself. It's just another flu cold, and kids don't get it. Really? Flint, first time I have mowed my lawn in November. It's 70 here today. I'm okay with this, says Flint Creek. Alberto, 55, upstate New York. Once I get back home, time to ride. Coyote, there could be more than one disease at once. Coyote, how is that possible? Michael, I'm not arguing the COVID issue. I'm just stating facts. It's okay. It's all right. I'm okay. There's no problem. There's no problem. There is no problem at all. I'm good with it all. It's all right. Okay, we're green right now on some stocks. The question is how long this lasts and whether this has any oomph or not. We're down 0.85 of 1% on NASDAQ, down 88.9. We're down 0.65 on S&P, down 24 points. And we're down 0.42 on the Dow, 136. The Dow, if it were to equal NASDAQ, would be double this, down 272. But we're down 130 on the Dow, 84 on NASDAQ. Oil down 205, getting weaker on oil right now. All right. Let's see. Olivia, flu season is extra fun now. We got a variety of sicknesses for you. Michael, they're working on RSV and vaccination now. Can't wait to see the backlash from that one. JR, it was sad. I'm a church-going guy and was on the board of our local church. I had to argue vehemently that, yes, we had to shut down. Dude, 53 in Tennessee, mostly sunny, though. It'll warm up later, I think. JR, because we needed to protect the elderly who came to church no matter what. And we are very vulnerable to the virus. Yes, Uncle Bruce, I don't get it either. Brian, SoFi and GameStop went green. Credit Savage, COVID facts. What can I say? Down 134 on the Dow. Amazon, 91.04, down 108. Netflix, up $1.54. 274.54, trying a dead cat bounce. Tesla up 381, 218.79. Apple down 406 to 140.97. GameStop up 8 cents, 26.70 at the moment. SoFi 514 up 3. HBQ down 41 at 26.56. Rocket Lab up 11. Moderna up 45 cents. ME down a penny. Matterport up a penny. ATIP down a penny. Smart Rent down 2.5. Spire up a penny. Sextera up 2. AMC and Ape are down 16.5 combined. Bed Bath Beyond $3.99 a share, down 5 cents. Pfizer down 6 cents. Boeing up 5.85. Cisco down 78 cents. Home Depot down 5.11. Carvana up 19 cents. Robinhood up 83. Vanik down 134. IBM down 170. Microsoft down 195. Goldman down 549. Google down 138. Adobe down 695. Meta, Facebook down 132. BlackBerry down 7.5. And Royal Caribbean up 189 to 51.55. You want to get in the mid 50s? buy puts. Down 186 on the Dow. Now we're down 197. Now we're down 200 on the Dow. We're going negative again on a bit of a sell wave going through at the moment. Oil down 208 at the moment. Okay, there it is. Michael, 71 degrees in New York on November 3. No climate issue here. Craig Savage, COVID facts. With a vaccine, chances of dying 1 in a million. Without the vaccine, chances of dying 1 in 1,000. Credit Savage says it's simple. It's simple math. RSV also infects adults. Sell my house fast in Upper Marlboro. Please remember that the best way to protect yourself from COVID is to adopt a healthier lifestyle. All the government will tell you is to take the jab. Brian, guys, you can't argue with stupid. You will just lose brain cells. Simple math is not simple for everybody. Lame duck. 215 thumbs ups. Leery about getting the second booster shot. According to Breaking Point, the shot was only tested on 7 mice, then approved it. You believe that? You really believe that garbage? Really? Yeah, really. I kind of don't go for that. In any event, we've had our 4th shot, Jen and I. We've had our 4th. We're fine. We're absolutely fine. We've not had it. No problems with it. It's all good. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable having the 4th one than having nothing at all. Bettina, the rug beater. What is this, Ray Powell? Is it a tax? What is this? What is this Pay Powell? Is it a tax? I have no idea what that means. 212-point drop on the Dow. Netflix up 72 cents. Tesla up 350. Apple down 440 at 140.60. Not recovering much. GameStop's red again, 26.53. We're going down again, down 9. GameStop had a dead cat bounce, and we're backing off again. They never say lose some weight, eat some veggies, take some zinc, get out of the sun. Oh, by the way, if you get sick, we have treatments. They never say any of that. Why is that? Nick, are we really arguing COVID? Let's instead focus on SoFi trying to break up. Vivash, number 238. Thank you very much. SoFi's 514, up 3 cents. Way to go, you guys. Let's see what happens. But Tina, the rug beater, you got to love that one. I love that one. Natural gas trades down 18 cents or 2.9% for December. U.S. stocks fall to the lowest level in almost 2 weeks as the Fed rocks the markets. These are headlines. And EIA reports a weekly climb of 107 billion cubic feet of U.S. natural gas supplies. If New York is 70 degrees right now, and some of you are mowing your lawns in November when you shouldn't be mowing your lawns, you don't need as much natural gas to warm your house, do you? And if that's the case, there's natural gas piling up in the system, and down goes the price. And if you guys were to drive 10% less with your cars and your trucks and your SUVs and your Jeeps and your motorbikes, the price of gas would collapse in a few weeks because every storage facility in the United States and Canada would be overflowing with refined gasoline with nowhere to go. And down would go the price because no one would need it. There'd be too much available at this time, and it would just plummet. But we're not like that. Amy, my dad died from COVID 2 weeks before the first vaccine came out. Touchy subject for me. My mom died after she got the vaccine. She got the vaccine and died shortly thereafter. Because it did her in too. And I don't go for this conspiracy garbage. Curtis Evans, can you please cite your facts? I don't believe those numbers. There you go, Flint. We have 9 days of warmth ahead of us. Oh, well, I love that. Alex, the Fed rocks the markets. The Fed is doing exactly what Jay Powell promised as long as it goes March. What nonsense. Exactly. He said what he was going to do, and he's doing it. They don't like that. Sell my house fast for Marlboro, MD enough. All righty, there you go. Enough of that. There you have it. We've lost people. I can't hug my mom anymore. How are you folks doing with that? Have you lost people you can't hug anymore? You believe in whatever? Okay. You believe lasers are taking out people from outer space? Good luck with you. Good luck to you. That's cool. Whatever floats your boat. Netflix is down 17 cents. That's real. We're negative 58 now on Netflix. Down we go. The Dow down 220, and we're falling again. That's the story. Thank you for being here for the morning show, everybody. I'll be on here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to close this day up and see what happens. Do not be surprised with a lot of gyrations on this market. That's what's going to happen. But the trend is simple. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. That is the overall plan and the overall trajectory of the markets in general. And that is a bigger picture from way up high. And we're just in the middle of one of these again. And we're getting lower lows and lower highs. And so write it out. Allow these stocks to back off for you and give you the big return. Our weather's in the low 80s this week. Come south, young man. Michael says, yes. Alberto, Amy, sorry for your loss. Mine died, but he chose not to be vaccinated. He was a professor, so unfortunately, he bit the false narrative and lost. My grandchildren have all been vaccinated. Sell my house? I don't understand. Constantine, have a green day, everybody. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. Have a great one. John Anderson, thanks, everybody, so very much. Thank you all. Say hi to your loved ones and give them an extra long hug the next time you see them, because you never know when you can't do it ever again. Thank you all for being with me today. I appreciate your support. We have thumbs ups now. I have 224 that have come in again today. You guys have every time come through for me, and I really, really appreciate it. JR, dude, condolences. It is sad. Some are so cavalier about other people's family members. Goodbye, Uncle Bruce. Take care, Lobo. Balma Babe, my sister is positive for COVID this week. This is not going away. She was vaccinated, and that is the reality. You can still get it, but hopefully you'll survive it. Lobo, I'm number 224, buddy. Alberto, dude, sorry for your loss. No problem, buddy. We keep moving on, and that is what we have to do. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And we'll see how this market works. I want you guys to get rich. Thank you for your support, everybody. Coyote, thank you, everybody. Stay positive. I'll see you all later. Taking a hot shower. Credit Savage, vaccines don't mean you can't get COVID. It means your chances of dying from it are 99% less. I'm in agreement with that. I'm total agreement with that. Absolutely true. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye for now.